What's up, shitheads?
I gotta remix that fucking intro, dude. It's all fucking guitar and bass. Like you can hear those kicks, but holy shit, you can't hear the rest of them drums hardly at all.
I literally don't hear a single thing anymore.
I
don't
Is it just not loud for you?
No, it's not. It's not that it's not loud. It's non-existent. I don't hear the intro at all. I see
really?
the thing, but I don't hear a thing. Yeah, it's all right.
Huh.
Appreciate that, brother.
I mean, it's not like I turned it off.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I was supposed to say he mutes it.
That is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. Nope, not listening to this shit my brother made.
Yeah, I will say the first few times I listened to it is extremely loud, and I was like, "That's too much."
That's too much.
But I wouldn't have turned it off. I mean, I'm not that kind of guy.
All right. 3 weeks in now.
What a week.
Lot to get to. Yeah. Grant Collins went into week 2 as the only team that hadn't got a win of any sort.
You're
and
welcome.
He scores the highest points in the league.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's still unbelievable.
I know. And the other crazy part about it is that Tyler and Sweet Pea had two of arguably the best teams in the league, and they were at the bottom of the league this week. So
any given week, man.
It was just a weird fantasy week. Yeah. And now we get 3 teams with a winning record in our league. Me and Chase are 5-1. Tyler's 4-2. And then Jed and Wendell are 3-3. Everyone else is 2-4. We've got 5 teams in the league at 2-4.
That's wild.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. Yeah. Well, and I went back and looked at it, which, I've been keeping up with it on what we would be record with potential and then what we would be if we didn't have the median. If we had no median, Chase would be undefeated at 3-0. Me, Tyler, and Jed would be 2-1. All the other 6 teams in the league would be 1-2.
What the hell?
So what's Chase right now? Is he 4-2?
5-1.
5-1. Oh, okay.
5-1.
You're only lost.
But I hold the number 1 overall spot by a whopping 0.28 points.
Yeah, I just now saw that.
Shit.
0.28 points.
Oh. Yeah, so since we have the same record, yeah. And now Grant Collins is in 3rd place with points because of his 200-point week.
Jeez Louise, dude.
Yeah, that helps when you score 50% of your points in 1 week.
When literally the people you picked off of waivers scores like 150 points.
Dude, he could have beat me, I think, with 4 players on his team. And it was the weakest player. So what I scored? Oh, maybe, no. I would have beat him by 2. But Chuba Hubbard, Jacoby Myers, Juwan Jennings, and Jalen Naylor scored 108.
Yeah.
I would be less
Your
surprised
potential was
if
only
they had
132.
8 points. I would be less surprised if they had 8 points.
Oh, yeah, Grant's potential was 85 points more than yours.
I mean, I didn't have a good week anyway, so I can't even be upset that I lost to him. I think even if he just had his regular, I think I would have lost regardless.
But you'd rather have that this week too, anyway, than week 14, 15, 16.
You say that, but traditionally, what happens is it happens this week, and then it happens next week, and then it happens the week after that, and then it just happens again and again all the way to week 14. So I mean, I'd rather it happen now, but it's not what's going to happen. Who do I play this week? Is it Wendell? I can't wait for Saquon to have 50 because they have no one to pass it to except for
AJ's hurt. Devontae Smith's half dead.
Watson will come out of the
that concussion looked terrible.
Do you know how much they fined that guy for the hit?
They should have fined him his whole fucking salary. That was a shitty hit.
$4,300. That's it.
So weird.
It's stupid how they have that set up. It was a Bush League move.
How do you quantify the amount of a fine?
It's all set in the labor agreement with the union.
There was one that was like $15,600 for some kind of hit of some sort, and I'm like, where do you come up with that number?
And then conveniently, when James gets suspended for this week against the Chiefs for his repeated violations, which I thought the hit that he had last week wasn't even that bad, but He said he's got repeated violations of unsafe behavior.
Yeah. It's
So-
I
odd.
didn't see it, but I had to drop him this week in the well, actually, I don't think I've dropped him yet. Oh, yeah, I did too. I dropped him because he's suspended, so I can't fucking play him.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get one win in that league, so I'm just picking up
Oh,
all
yeah.
the hurt people.
Like,
and just,
I should have done. I was this close to doing what you did because I have a decent record, and those. I mean, they'll all be back not this week, but probably next.
Y'all know not a single person has picked up Jennings that just blew up for 50 fucking points in that league, right?
I mean, you're going to be
I thought
more than
somebody
happy
just
to.
did.
Who am I going to drop?
No one picked him up.
Right.
I can't drop
Oh.
any of the people that I've got. Am I going to drop Tyreek? No. I could probably drop Calvin Ridley, but probably not.
As
I
soon
would-
as you do, he's going to pop off for 20 or 30 points.
Or
Oh,
somebody
probably more
I'll
than that
pick
in that
him up.
league.
If I thought he would
Yeah.
ride the waiver wire, yeah, I'd drop him in a heartbeat. But I don't think he will. I think somebody. I don't think any of these players will last in the waiver, and I don't think Juwan Jennings is going to be more. I think whenever Debo comes back, Juwan Jennings is nothing.
Yeah, but he's not coming back this week.
Okay, but 1 week, I'm renting him for 1 week is what it'll be. I
Yeah.
can't justify it. I can't.
High price rental.
I mean, it's
Expensive rental is what
I'll
it is.
probably be picking them up here
one of
soon anyway, so you don't have to worry about it.
Not if I do it
We're gonna
first,
get that
I've literally
notification
already
in the middle of
I
this.
literally already got him pulled up, so you better hurry.
Go right ahead. Someone stole the defensive player. It was the first time that that's happened to me ever. I was literally about to push a drop player for this guy, and then it literally put in red bold, this player's already rostered. I said, "Excuse me," and it was I don't have my phone on me, but it was someone else in our league that picked him up like literally seconds before I pushed the button. I was like, what
That's
the
awesome. That's awesome.
It's the first time that's happened.
Yeah. All right. I beat G-Rob. I think we had all winners. Oh, actually, Trey got the last median spot in his humble defeat by Chase.
yeah.
Hey, at least he scored almost.
Barely
3
beat out
points.
Jed by almost 3 points for the median. So
Damn.
Jed got a win, but didn't get the median.
Close.
Yeah.
Really?
142.96 for Trey and 140.18 for Jed. So that was close as hell.
I mean,
But none of the
The wrong
games this
league.
week were close.
Of
Or
our
were you looking at the no bench league?
I was looking at no bench. I was like, man, Jed scored 190 points and he didn't make the meeting.
Yeah, I had the third highest scoring team that week and didn't
140
win,
points and he did not make the median.
Yeah. So it was obviously by far our highest median of the year.
But it's just
but
big swings. The only relatively close game was you and G Rob and Chase and Trey.
Bro, is your fucking
Yeah.
picture of Chase's Buzz Lightyear?
do what?
Is that what your profile picture is? Is Chase's Buzz Lightyear?
Wait, what? I haven't seen it
that's
yet.
incredible.
On the no
Yeah.
bench league.
No, bro. On
No,
the
his profile on Super, that's his picture. Is you and the Buzz Lightyear.
The picture of what? I don't see nothing. What are you talking about?
Go look at Tyler's profile. Yeah. Oh well, you can't see that. It's
Let me see it.
Tyler's profile of what?
his
It's,
profile
Sleeper.
picture is you as Buzz Lightyear, dressed up as Buzz Lightyear. I guess for Halloween.
On what?
A sleeper.
On oh my god! No, hold on, I got to pull it up real quick.
It's just for
yeah.
League
You
of
gotta go
Record.
find this shit,
It's
man.
just for League of Record.
Oh, okay, hold on.
That's hilarious.
I was wondering
what
how long it
the
would take
heck?
somebody-
Dog go nuts over there, please.
Oh my god! Are you serious?
I was wondering how long that would take for somebody to see that. I was hoping
didn't
it'd
even
be
notice
like
it.
14.
That's
before somebody
awesome.
Notice it, and then you'd be like, "How
It's
has
your
it been like
fault.
that?" I'd be like, "Since week 3."
Oh my god!
Can you
Shout out
take
to Trey
him to
for
the laundry
recognizing
room?
that.
He's gonna go lay back down.
You're talking about your son or your dog?
No, my wife is harassing our
You're talking
dog
about
over
your
here.
wife.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got to go to the laundry room.
Sarah, can you please go to the laundry room? I mean, I say that as I'm in my garage. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you got
Ooh.
shamed into the garage there. Jeez.
listen, this is I got both kids asleep and Evelyn is asleep. I'm not rocking that, bro.
All is
So
right
You
in
got
the
all
world.
3 kids asleep.
They're all asleep. I'm not. Nope. It's not worth it.
Yeah. This was our best week in terms of the actual median being close to potential median. So another week of us getting better with our lineups. Except for Sweet Pea, he's still struggling because he's got players on his bench that keep popping off. 88.8% of the median was our actual median, so that's pretty solid across the board for us. Sweet Pea's the only person under 80% in his start sit percentage
Oh,
at
yeah.
74.1.
Oh no.
Huh?
For the
Yeah.
year, for the week.
For the year.
What are we for the year? Let's see. I always struggle with this because it's like, do I really think that it's kind of a weird number, because if you
Yeah.
only have enough good players to be in your starters, then it's going to be high. Because like you look at
Right.
Hayden's team, and I'm not bashing Hayden's team, but Hayden's team last year, he had great starters, and then his bench was just like ho hum random dudes that may have a good week. So
Yeah.
like it's not hard to start your perfect lineup when that's what you've got. So
Right.
I'm always interested to hear what this is, because I take it with a grain of salt, but I do like to talk crap whenever the numbers are in my favor.
So Grant Collins leads still at 92.4%. The only
I think
person
he's a
over
perfect
90.
example. What's his bench look like?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I think he's the perfect example.
Well, I mean,
don't
he
think has a
scored
strong
what?
bench.
He scored 201 last week, and his potential was 217. So
He's
he
got-
essentially played.
Drake
best
May,
lineup.
who's not playing. Jonathan Brooks,
Yep.
who's not playing. Miles Sanders, who might as well not be playing. Kenneth Walker, who's not playing. Debo Samuel, who's not playing. Romeo Dubs, who he's got Malik Willis. He's basically not playing. Luke Musgrave, who's got Malik Willis. He's basically not playing either. He does have that Andrea, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yosevich.
Yoshi
Yeah.
Boss, is that it? He's got him.
Yeah, something like.
And he's got Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers. But he's starting Jared Goff. So, I mean, anyway, not to run my mouth about Grant's team, I'm just saying it's a little bit easier to pick your starters when your bench is all on the PUP.
Yeah. Well, and then you look at. So I'm second at 88.8%, and I'm
Well, let's
5
have
and
a
1
gander
leading
your
the league.
team.
No, I mean, hey, my team is the same way. I'm just getting my starters have been consistently good so far this year. Especially the
you
last
got
2 weeks.
Jake,
but-
you got Fergalicious there on your bench.
Yeah, that was one. I didn't think he was going to play, so I didn't put him in my lineup, and then he ended up going off for 6 for me and a touchdown or something. So
Yeah.
that was just one. Which he's been in my lineup. He was in my lineup the first 2 weeks, and he got hurt week 2, and then I didn't think he was going to play last week, and he did. So
And he went off because everybody else sucked.
Trey is third at 87.4%.
Who is?
That boy Trey.
I am. Well, I'd be a good example of what Tyler's talking about. Like, I mean, I just.
Jed is
Yeah.
fourth at 87.1. Aiden's fifth at 85.9. Then Will at 85.4. Chase at 83.9. Tyler 83.6. Grant Robinson 82.4. And then Sweet Pea at 74.1.
Yeah, I'm just a bad manager. That's all there is.
I'm going to go ahead and say, for me personally, I would rather be, at the bottom of this list and to be at the top of the league. I would rather be the worst manager, but be like 5-1 or 4-2.
Well, what about
And,
being the second best manager and being at the top of the league? Because that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Well, that would be cool too. Polar Night, Sweet Trey's getting some face today. It's been a long road. Who the fuck is this?
That's fine. That's fine.
What have you, Trey?
4 days ago.
Oh, that was awesome.
I do think like the sweet spot for that value is around 85% because it means
Yeah.
that you have good players on your bench and you're really having a difficult time finding out who is your best flex play. So
Well,
it's
and
one
that's
of
actually our
those-
league average is 85.1%. So,
there you are.
yeah. One other thing to point out that too. So, I mentioned that I'm 0.28 points ahead of Chase in actual points. Potential points, Chase has me by 30.
Suck it.
Chase has you in potential by just 30 points. That's it.
Yeah, he's got 547, and I've got 517.
That's like nothing.
They're the only
who's
two
the
over
highest
500 potential.
points?
Chase is.
So he's the highest. What's that list look like?
So highest potential is Chase at 547, me at 517, Sweet Pea at 496, Tyler at 465, Grant Robinson at 459, Grant Collins at 456, Wendell at 457,
Tight.
That got me interested. What the?
Jed at 450, Trey at 423, Hayden at 415.
Oh, that's right. I had Isaiah Likely and Jameson Williams week 1
Yeah.
on the bench.
Mhm.
That's
That's
hurt me.
what hurt you.
Yeah. And then week 2 I had a much better start, except I had Sam Darnold on my bench.
And the other thing too, I'll mention here too, with if we look at record with potential, if we were going based off the potential points in our matchup, me and Chase would still be 5-1. Sweet Pea would be 4-2. Tyler would be 3-3. Grant Robinson and G would both be 3-3. Hayden, Wendell, and Grant Collins would be 2-4, and Trey would be the bottom feeder at 1-5. If you went based off potential points.
See, my good record is just good fortune of other poor management. I'll take it.
So, yeah. Should be some good matchups this week, I think, though. Well, I said I'm playing
G-Rob
Hayden.
and mine are like close.
Yeah. Tyler is playing Wendell. Jed is playing Trey. Sweet Pea's playing Grant Collins, and Chase is playing Grant Robinson. The sleeper projection has Chase beating Grant Robinson by less than 2 points. So that's the matchup to watch this week. Is going to be
high
Chase
total
and Grant Robinson. The 2 seed
Dang.
versus the 7 seed right now.
Yeah,
What the
Yeah.
heck?
And if playoffs started today, Hayden, Trey, Grant Collins, and Grant Robinson would be out. Sweet Pea gets the final spot with a 2-4 record.
I just know that choosing my picture is going to it's going to bid me good. I'm going to infinity. And
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
That's what you should change your team name to.
No, I can't. I don't change my team name. I'll change my team picture. I will not change my team name all season. I think it's bad juju. I'm not going to do it.
Well,
Had a
I
dude
changed
in
mine
another league
some
I'm in,
last
and
year.
He's now 1-5. He changed it the first week. Won 1 game.
Yeah. That'll do it.
That's hilarious.
All right. Everyone's favorite segment, starts and sits. So, Chaz, you want to give us a rundown of how we did last week? I think
We
it was
did
actually one of our
much
better weeks.
better.
I did
Yeah.
great.
We did much better as a collective few. Trey, congratulations winning week 2. You were the only one that got anything right, and it was your Jamar Chase sit. So that was a
That's a bold
fantastic
sit,
week
too.
2. Yeah,
Week
I know.
2?
Yeah.
Week 2. Yeah. No. Week 3, all of us got at least one hit, but there was 2 people who got both of their starts and sits correct.
Pretty
That
sure.
would be Tyler and Trey.
Hey, let's go, bro.
Let's go. Keep it
Hey,
family.
smoke through the camera there.
Keep it
That's
family.
That's because Tyler can't choose his own start and sits. He has to take from other
Hey.
people. So
Here's what I'll do. I'll start sending mine as soon as I think of them so that I can get them first and you guys can't pick them.
I texted Tyler when I told him that I was not going to be a part of the podcast last week, and I was like, I'm picking Joe Burrow and Tyreek Hill. And he said, I'm picking Joe Burrow. I'm like, well, then we're both going to be right this week. I don't
To be fair, I almost pivoted to Jamar Chase, but it's kind of one of those things where, like, I hate picking a big name for the start to an extent. He had played horrible the first 2 weeks. He had less than 10 points. So I think he would have been feasible. But I think that because he's a first-round draft pick in, like, standard redrafts, I try to stay away from him But
Yeah.
he was going to be my if I bucked it and went somewhere else, I still would have got it either way. But he was going to
Yeah,
be the ball.
but Joe Burrow only got it by 1
He
point.
barely got it.
He got 25.4 or something.
Fucking
was
win,
so
win.
scared.
I mean, with the exception of they didn't actually win.
I was so scared he was going to throw some Hail Mary and then throw a pick.
Oh, that would have been
I would have been
wild.
pissed.
So you both got those correct. The Joe Burrow starts. Tyler, you and I got both the J.K. Dobbins sits correct. I think he only scored like 6.8 points of some sort.
Yeah.
Trey, you had the sit to Tyreek Hill, which he only scored 7 points, so you got that hit. Will, your Mike Evans sit was great. I think it was. He scored like around 7 or 9 points. But then Travis Kelce
I thought
was
he
your
only had
start, which
3. Yeah.
oh, if he only had
Fuck
3 either. I had Sam Laporta. I was curious when he had his injury, and if you
He's
would
up for
consider
trade.
that,
He's up for trade.
and if you would consider him to
I'd
be
consider
an
trading him.
injured start for
I'd
me,
consider trading him.
or if
Uh,
it was
let's
if
No,
it
he came
happened
back in
too
the
late.
game. He came back in the game.
Did he?
Yeah, he came back in.
Mike
He came
Evans
back
had
in
2
twice.
for. Mike Evans had 2 for 17, so he only had 3.7.
Holy shit! Yeah, one wonderful
Yeah.
set.
Fucking
Not saying
baller
it
for
shouldn't
me.
count in your favor, Chase. I'm just saying he came back in. He injured his ankle. He set out I think 2 or 3 drives. He came back in and then he for a
I just
4th drive,
remember
he
him
went
getting
out.
carted off, so I was
Yeah, he
like,
came-
"Oh,
So
Yeah,
he
he
got
came back.
carted off in the first half and then left again in the third quarter.
Yeah,
But
in
managed
and
to
out.
retake the field in both instances. So he did come back in the game after the second injury also, but it's a low ankle sprain. So he did finish the game.
I'll consider that a loss."
It's up
That
to
will
you.
be-
I'm not against
No,
it.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not
that'll be a
against
loss for
whichever
me.
way.
You want to make it a half a loss?
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so I'll get the W and 3.5 loss. That's funny. Man, that's gonna really make percentiles difficult for me.
Right.
All right, Trey, you are now 3-2.
Let's go. Much better than last year.
2-4 for Tyler, and then Will, you're 1-5.
Bringing it at the rear. All right.
So now starting sits for this week. Generally, I guess I start this segment off, so I guess I will. Again, this time, my start for this week is going to be, I was contemplating Rome Odunze, but nope, I'm going to stick with who I think should be the number 1 wide receiver there, and that's DJ Moore. DJ Moore is going to, I think, show exactly why he should be the number 1 option there now that Caleb Williams is showing some improvement in his play, or at least can get the total yardage up there for Chicago Bears, although they were only able to score, 9 points in that game? I kind of forget what it was. It's
But
unbelievable. He
Their
threw for
offensive line
365.
is so bad.
It took him 52 pass attempts to get that 365, though.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be having quite a few good game scripts per se. So I really do think DJ Moore is going to be the reception guru on this one,
Until
and he's
DeAndre
going to
Swift
outscore.
head out of his ass for them.
I don't even think
that's
it's
the big
DeAndre
problem.
Swift. I think it's their.
It's the
is it
offensive
Steichen?
line.
Offensive line.
Their
Roshan
offensive
Johnson
line.
didn't look too bad with his
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. He's getting
carries.
more ball.
Well, I think that when Swift's in the game, teams stack the box a little more and try to stop him, and then they also blitz pressure off of it because against Houston, Caleb Williams gets pressured like 36 out of 37 dropbacks or something.
Did you see the picture when they got down to the 1 yard line and they tried to rush it? It was an option, I think. And they
It
go
was
to the
it was
left,
4th and goal.
and and Caleb Williams chucks it to DeAndre Swift, and every offensive lineman is on the ground, and every defensive lineman
Oh,
is on this
yes.
side of the line running.
Yeah, it was
Yes, that was
How do you even do
terrible.
that?
Another reason why I'm choosing DJ Moore is because the Bears are playing the Rams, and for some reason, it's just a high-scoring game whenever you play against the Rams. So, boom. That's my start.
Fair.
I like
Who
it.
wants next?
Trey, who you got?
So for my start, I'm gonna go the Red Rifle, and he's fucking
Andy
Yes.
Dalton. Oh my
Man.
god.
Cincinnati up.
You kind of look like him.
I hope that we win this game, but I'm gonna pick him to fucking just. I mean, I don't think. I mean, we looked horrible against Washington.
Washington.
Defense.
Your
Like,
defense did, yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Offensively, we look great. I can't complain about anything that we did there, but defensively it looked really bad. And I think that we collectively could probably go and try out. Maybe we could make the team.
The defense.
All right.
Yeah. My sit. Homeboy's gonna have 2 bad weeks in a row.
Oh, you're doing Tyreek Hill again?
No, I'm not doing fucking Tyreek Hill again. Y'all shut the fuck up with that, okay?
Well, that's what you did last
That's your
time.
sit. That was a good sit.
It was a good sit last week, and to be honest with you, it was probably going to be a good sit until they find somebody else other than Skylar Thompson to throw the ball. However, I'm not going to fucking do that shit like Tyler did last year with Dak Prescott and make him his start the rest of the year. I'm not going to do that. All right, but he is going to have 2 bad weeks in a row,
It worked.
and it's I may be fucking his name all the way up.
All the way up.
Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid.
Shaheed. Yeah, he's been having 2 bad weeks in a row.
He went
This is not
over
gonna be-
5 in catches last week. That was fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he's going to have another not good week.
Chase, did
Alright.
you do your sit? Or did
I didn't,
you
but
only do your- okay,
Oh.
I thought you only did that. So
yeah, that's all.
Um,
That's all good.
my start is going to go along the same lines as Trey, but I'm going to go Deontay Johnson.
Yeah,
14.
amen.
14 targets for Andy Dalton, 8 for 122 and a touchdown.
Unleash
I
the
think that's going to
offense.
continue, especially since Adam Thielen's out now. They placed him on IR.
Oh,
So it's
man,
either
with
it's
that
gonna be
touchdown
Deontay
catch.
Johnson or
Ah,
Leggett. So
It's Leggett time, guys.
it could be.
I hope
There's
it
going to be
is.
so-
one of those, early
It'll be Mingo,
wide
that's what it'll
receivers. Mingo is more of a Debo, like a Swiss Army knife. So, yeah, it's going to be Xavier Leggett then.
yeah, and if you can't, if Cincinnati can't guard any Washington receiver, they're not going to be able to guard Carolina's either. I don't think. So
Yeah, I don't know what like. Anyway, I don't
Also-
want to really talk about it.
about Washington, they've gone 2 consecutive games with no turnovers, no punts, which is unheard of. And the Bengals
Unbelievable.
game was the first one since 1940 with no turnovers, no punts. The punter for the Commanders was seen in the locker room this week having ice on his hand because he only had to hold. He hadn't had to punt. So he said, I would have trained more for this if I would have known that this is all I was going to do.
That's hysterical.
Did you see the
Yeah.
stat about quarterbacks who completed 90% of their passes with Jaden Daniels? They said
There's not many.
There's only 20, and of the
Mhm.
20 that have completed 90% of their passes that have thrown more than 20 passes, he has the highest depth of target with 9.4 yards.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Well, that
man.
last pass to McLaurin helped. Also with
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, so now he's had 2 games where his team has not turned it over and punted in the same game. Mahomes, Manning, Breeze, and Brady have 2 combined games in all of the collective's careers
It's
of that,
freaking
of
wild.
no turnovers
dude.
and no punts.
I wanted the Raiders to have Jaden Daniels. I'm so unhappy. I'm so
Devontae
happy I
Adams
have
did
him
that
on my
too.
team. Yeah. Thank you, Trey, for letting me have Jaden. By the
Yeah,
way,
I didn't want to bring this up, but I guess I will. I needed a running back, and I remember telling you that I'd make that trade with you, and you said who you were going to pick, and I was like, God, that's exactly who I was going to pick if I wasn't considering.
Well,
Now
and
with
I'm
Charbonnet,
pissed about the fact that I was going to take Jaden Daniels instead of Williams, but I took Williams because Daniels has his bye week as Lamar. That was literally my
Oh.
only reason for picking Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels at 110.
You couldn't have started somebody else for that 1 week. I mean, we have like 20 fucking bench spots.
That's true, but I have Bryce Young as my other quarterback, so that's not really an option.
Yeah, well, he ain't playing.
He's droppable at this point.
Well, he's my taxi squad, so it doesn't do me any good if I drop him because I can't
Oh.
put somebody else on.
He'll be on another team next year, no doubt.
he'll be on another team.
Maybe on another team. Yeah. Well,
If
All right,
there's
Tyler,
any
who you
more
starting?
injuries, yeah, he could potentially be traded right away.
right.
My start of the week is going to piggyback on the person I called to be the MVP of the year. It's Kyler Murray. He's playing terrible Washington defense. I love picking quarterbacks for my starts of the week.
Pretty sure all your starts were always against Washington, by the way.
And
Knows who it's been.
they're doing great.
He's fucking trendy.
I almost picked Marvin Harrison, and then I almost picked Travion Bride, but I was like, you know what? I called Kyler Murray at the beginning of the year.
Well, they're both on the
Save
injury
some
report.
shots.
Marvin
But
Harrison
Kyler
and
is-
Travion.
It's a good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's good. They'll
Yeah,
be
both of
fine.
them missed practice today.
That's good.
So fuck me.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and
Who's
do my
are they on?
second while I'm at it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care to do
Yeah,
that.
go for it.
It's surprisingly. Let me pull this up before I actually start talking.
Hey, y'all see the question we got in the comments?
Nope. I didn't
Would
see
you
that
guys
pop up.
do Waddle and Chubb for Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
In a heart? Wait,
Yeah, PPO.
would you guys do Waddle or Chubb? I would take Josh Jacobs in that, if
Yeah,
that's what
for
he's
sure.
asking. Because
Yeah, he's been running the ball so well, and then Jalen Waddle's not going to be relevant until they get some sort of quarterback play, which is not going to get it out of Skylar Thompson. They're
Mm.
going to
Yeah,
have to go
Tyler
outside the
Huntley.
organization to get it.
Isn't Tyler
He
Huntley on that
can't
team?
fucking throw the ball, man.
He's doing
We
great
had this
when
He's a
was with
conversation
running
the
last
quarterback. He might as
Dude,
well
he
be a
did-
goddamn
He
running
was
back.
great when he was with the Ravens, and when he
For
when he
running
come
the
in
ball.
For the Ravens, no, I don't believe that. I'm looking this up.
He was great when he fumbled that fucking ball and let Trey Hendrickson 97 yards for a fucking touchdown.
Tyler Huntley. The only thing he's got going against him is he's playing against Tennessee. Tennessee's a good defense. Was
Yeah.
it last year he was with them or
Well,
2022?
he's
When
been-
was it that he got 2022?
22 is when he made the fucking Pro Bowl.
All right,
With
yeah,
the
he's,
Look,
Ravens.
he's
he
kind of bad.
not
at
throw
throwing.
for
You're right.
over 187 yards.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's kind of bad at throwing the ball. If you go the year before that, he was good. He had 4 games where he threw the ball more than 5 games where he threw the ball more than 30 times.
I just need you to trust me when it comes to quarterbacks because I told you Gino wouldn't average 20 and the motherfucker didn't.
Who?
Gino.
He oh my gosh. It's like a half a friggin' yard. Okay, my sit of the week is a guy who, through no point in this year, would have been a sit. You would have never won if you called him a sit. He's had 12 points in week 1. It was like 18 in week 2 and 25 in week 3. And it's Zach Charbonnet. So his butt cheeks, and I think the Lions defense is fantastic. I think they're gonna. I would be surprised if he had more than 10 this week.
Is
If he
this
doesn't get in the end zone, he sucks.
I
They
think game's
said-
gonna be low scoring.
They shut James Conner down big time last week. He didn't do shit.
a
Well,
sit
I
because
guess it's
Kenneth
also-
Walker is coming back?
I thought he was already out for the week.
I don't think so.
If
I mean,
he's
he
not
looked
out
like
for the week,
he
I'll
looked like
find
shit
him.
in warm-ups last week. So I think there's a good chance he doesn't play.
If he does play, I'll find somebody else. Let me look at Grayson.
He has been inefficient with his touches, but he's getting the receptions, and that's what's making him pretty viable in terms of fantasy play.
I'll find a, y'all do yours. I'll find a second real quick, just as a backup. In case
I have a very
it's
spicy
longer.
sit, very
Let's hear it.
spicy.
Go for it.
My sit is I guess I've been all about game script this year, and I feel like this game script, whenever they go against Buffalo, they're going to get down and they're not going to be able to use this player, and they'll have to be putting up good old Justice Hill for the
Derrick Henry.
passing down. So Derrick Henry is going to be my sit for this week. They're just not going to be able to use him because they're going to get down quick and they're going to have to be throwing the ball here and there because Buffalo has been just tearing it in the first half of games and just been piling points. And if the Raiders, especially with how terrible they looked with Carolina, if the Raiders can put points on Baltimore, There's no doubt Buffalo can. They're going to put it up quick. They're going to get up, and then they're not going to be able to use Derrick Henry as much as they would like.
Yeah, that's understandable. I was gonna go Alvin Kamara with my sit, but now he's on the injury report, so I'm not gonna go with him. And I contemplated Josh Allen for the reason that they are playing Baltimore, but I don't think I'm gonna go with him. Juwan Jennings, not gonna do it again.
Man,
You don't think
Plain
he
and
gets 12 points, Juwan Jennings?
but he has to
It's
get
10.
20.
10.
10. No, they'll find somebody else.
Man, I
They
don't know.
they're not
That's a
consistent.
tough one. That's bold to me.
They're not-
I think that with Debo out,
Kittle may be back, right?
I don't think Kittle matters,
Well,
though. I don't think Kittle matters.
but why
as much as
would-
Debo does.
If you saw Juwan Jennings go off last week, why are you not going to try to shadow him to take him out?
Because you've got other
I
people
think
to
that they're
worry
going to take him out and go with somebody else.
They're going to make Brandon
And they
Ayuk
are-
try to catch a ball, and he can't catch a ball right now.
Well, this is
And
what
they're
happens when
playing
you
the
don't play in
Patriots.
preseason.
They're playing the
Ah.
Patriots, so Jordan Mason's going to have a big game because they're going to be up and they're going to run the ball. They're not going to need to throw it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good sit. I feel like mine are spicy. Your Andy Dalton start. Holy shit, Trey.
How can you? I mean, I don't know how you cannot think that he's going to do good. Of course, there's also he could have absolutely just been having a good game last week, and he could absolutely fall flat on his fucking face this week. Like that's what I was saying right before Todd got on here, right before we started. I was like, man, this is either going to be like really, really good, and I'm going to hit both of them, or I'm going to fall flat on my fucking face this week, and both of these people are going to do the complete opposite of what I think they're going to do.
Yeah, I think Derek
Yeah.
Carr is going to have another few really good games for the remainder of this regular season. Then cold weather starts to hit, and then boom, he kind of goes downhill, and he's not going to be able to throw the deep ball accurately. So that will obviously be at the detriment of Rashid Shaheed.
My backup.
Well,
would be
he
Garrett
does have
Wilson. I
the
think he
ability to
actually
play in a
sucks.
dome, though.
Yeah, but still.
Climate controlled dome. Untouched by hurricanes thus far.
Well,
yeah,
that's
we'll
not
see.
true. Katrina fucked it.
Yeah, oh, I'm saying thus far, like since Katrina, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh
it's
yeah, I got you.
been, yeah. This is a post Katrina world we're living in. When George Bush does care about black people.
Gosh.
Kanye said it, not me. Okay. I mean, I did, I guess, repeat it, but
That viewpoint is explicitly Trey's, not anyone else.
it's not a viewpoint that I have.
Oh shit! All right. Do we have any more injuries that we need to talk about?
Did you hear my backup sit?
Garrett Wilson.
Oh yeah,
I
we
almost
need that.
chose him.
We need that.
He sucks. I don't think he's that dude. I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is.
I think he is that good. I think he
You can
is.
have him.
Who is it?
Trade him to you.
Sure. Fuck. Do you have him?
Yeah, I'll give him to you for a first next year.
Okay.
I don't have him on my team.
Oh, it's like, all right,
But
sure.
I probably wouldn't trade him for a first. I would trade him for. I mean, I would if I had him, I'd be shopping him out right now.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna find the person that is Garrett Wilson,
It's
and
Sweet
I
Pea.
will. I'll be talking to Sweet Pea.
I don't know that he should.
Wait,
have
who are the
points
Jets
on Garrett
playing, though?
Wilson.
The Jets are playing.
The
Denver?
Broncos.
I think they're playing the Broncos, so he's going to get the curtain. You might want to wait 1 week.
The curtain.
Yeah, wait 1 week for him to not.
He's gonna
have
get
to-
Pat
Not
Surtain.
that good.
And that'll probably be a Brees Hall game, because
No, there's no
Denver's.
such thing as a Brees Hall game. It's the Braylon Allen game. Who looks
Hall
great,
Allen
by the way.
duo. Yeah,
I
Braylon
understand he
Allen's
looks
favorite.
good, but dang.
he's. I didn't even think he was gonna play that much, really. But I mean,
Well,
it's,
how can
you know,
keep
they
him
gave
off?
me right. The game against the Titans is all I have to go with because that's literally all I've watched of the Jets all season. But it was the first 2 drives were Brees Hall, pass to Brees Hall, run, and he didn't do anything. Then they put Allen in, and he got a little bit here, a little bit there, but then apparently that was the magic gates to open everything up. So
I have a question for you all. So let's say you are starting up a dynasty draft right now. All right.
Oh, I love this already.
Who would you rather have right here this week, right now? Tank Dell or Jackson Smith and Jigba?
that one's interesting because it feels like JSN is better right now, but Tank Dell's probably got a better future because he's going to have consistency at quarterback CJ Stroud, whereas Geno Smith doesn't have too many years left in reality. So that's where it's tricky because do you try to play it now or do you try to play for the future? Because I mean it is a dynasty, so that's where I would be scared. But that is a very interesting question.
I'm not happy with the question. I don't like it very much.
That was a question that was proposed on a podcast I was listening to, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, damn. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't really know.
Very difficult question, that's for sure.
How long is Stephon Diggs going to be on the Houston Texans before he gets
Until
mad?
he's getting target
Yeah. I mean, ultimately,
probably this season.
Here's my thing is let's talk archetypes or archetypes of wide receivers. If you had to decide between the fast wide receiver of a team versus like your typical X wide receiver who is getting the intermediate, like a Rashee Rice, who are you looking for? Just in terms of archetype, which one do you think is more advantageous to fantasy leagues?
PPR and non-PPR.
PPR in our league.
At PPR, I'd go based off the volume.
I'd go
Not
to Rashee Rice there over the big play guy.
Right.
I think they each play their role in your team. I think you need a good mix of both. But I think by and large, most people swing for the fences and they want those heavy hitters when in reality, you only need a couple people to hit it really big if you have a bunch of people that are very consistent and that come in week. It's like my favorite player in fantasy, probably of all time, is Jarvis Landry. Because you knew when he was
going to get
Dolphins,
you 10 points.
He'd get you 10 to 20 points every week. You didn't even have to think about it. He was drafted so late. He was a flex in every he was always a flex. Mm-hmm. Players like that, I think, are more important than people realize.
So who would you decide right now, and this is more of a my team problem, I guess, but that's where I'm kind of at. Jameson Williams, who just put out a big old 1.2, but has obviously had really good first 2 weeks because he's got very big explosive plays. Would you rather have the consistent 10 points at least every single week, has the volume, and Wan'Dale Robinson?
If I'm you, I'd rather have Wan'Dale Robinson.
And you can look at it the same way too with Kansas City. With looking at Kansas City alone, in Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy, right?
Worthy had 2 touchdowns week 1, but had 3 targets, 4 targets the first 3 weeks. Rashee Rice 9 targets, 6 targets, 14 targets. I mean, and he's the number 2 receiver in fantasy.
For what it's worth, I think the 2 high safeties is ruining that archetype of the big play guy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to start favoring those middle level, those catch at the line of scrimmage, those 10-yard catch guys. I think it's going to favor them. I mean, obviously you're still going to have your big plays every now and then, but I do think the 2 high safety look is just, I think it's ruining people like Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Like not the elite guys.
And it's
like Tyreek Hill's still going to get his, Justin Jefferson's still going to get his, but like outside of that, outside of the like elite, I just don't see them having.
Well, and
I feel like the most advantageous archetype of wide receivers is your like big X potentially slot wide receiver that can get your short to intermediate passes. I agree.
Yeah, and you're gonna see a lot more play calls designed to get the ball at the line of scrimmage rather than trying to get it to them down the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because that's where you might have those guys get 3 or 4 catches, but for 12 or 15 yards. But then one game they're gonna bust one for a 75-yard touchdown, and that's gonna pay off.
Right.
But that's probably the biggest boom or bust that you're gonna have is those type of players. Because then you're gonna have weeks where if you start throwing it underneath, then the safeties may creep up, and then you can bust one over top. So I'd much rather have the consistency factor of that than play factor.
So back to my original question, that is why I think I would rather have Jackson Smith and Jigba over Tank Dell. Because as long as Stephon Diggs is there, I think that's the way that they will use Tank Dell is your big player. While Jackson Smith and Jigba showed in week 2 that he can definitely be your volume guy and have multiple roles in that offense. But I mean, both players are so similar, except for the quarterback play, in terms of have a young quarterback that they have in CJ Stroud for the foreseeable future. So you have more consistent future play for Tank Dell compared to Jackson Smith and Jigba, which, potentially Geno, who knows? He could be there for multiple years. There could be consistency with that, but it's much more in question than CJ Stroud. So I just really liked that dynasty question in terms of who would you rather have in Tank Dell or Jackson Smith and Jigba. But I do believe the answer is Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I would also take Jackson.
Yeah. And Tank Dell has 7 targets, 4 targets, 6 targets, but he's not catching them all, and he's getting a couple rushing attempts with it. But I still think that's a SN move because with Seattle, that they're going to push the ball passing it, and they're going to throw it to their top 2 receivers, and JSN has taken over for Lockett, so I think that is the right move.
Yeah, I agree. That was just a fun question. That was something I always wanted to bring on the show, so I'm glad I was able to.
Please
Thanks,
do any
man.
more of those.
We appreciate that.
I don't like it.
I don't know.
On that brain exercise, fellas, I'm gonna dip. I'm fucking exhausted. Yeah.
You sell your team yet?
It's for sale, but I haven't sold anything yet.
Before we go, do you want to tell us what you're expecting out of your guys?
Well, I'm expecting all the best players on everyone's teams for all of my dog shit. As everyone else expects. I don't expect anything different.
Looking at your team right now, Trey.
Yeah. So you want 4 first for the worst player on your team, then, right?
That makes the most amount of sense to me. Do you even have 4 first to offer?
I would do that only if I got.
No, my first my first one pick this year is in the hands of Captain Clutch.
Oh.
Yeah, and
How you
Will's
feeling about that, Chase?
fucking destroying it too and not letting me have an early draft pick, which is pissing me off. So,
Hey, you might as well trade that draft pick to somebody that could use it.
all right, what do you want?
That draft pick.
Oh, well, what can I get from you? That's probably the best question.
Let me look at your fucking team.
Chase needs a running back. Send him James Conner.
Does he need a running back?
Of course he does. He doesn't need a wide receiver.
You do have Brian Thomas.
I know. I love
I'm over
Brian Thomas right now. My hope is that either Jalen Wright or Blake Corum gets utilized a lot more in the coming weeks. But right now, as long as Kenneth Walker is out, Zach Charbonnet is at least. Yeah, exactly. I just think it's hilarious that probably Zach Charbonnet had his best week against the person that I got him from in the trade.
Fuck you, man. I'm out. That was low and uncalled for. All right, y'all next week. Well, actually, we'll probably be texting or whatever, but I'll be back on this thing next week.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Greg.
See ya. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, literally that trade, and then Rashad White had his worst game too. So
Yeah.
yeah. Right now, I've definitely won that trade by a long mile, but I really don't. I'm kind of with you, Tyler. Zach Charbonnet, his efficiency. They were talking about his numbers. He's like one of the worst running backs in terms of his actual rushing the ball, but the fact that he is the pass catching player like he is, he's at least able to be fantasy relevant, and that's the only
You
thing.
said the
That's
same
keeping
thing
him.
about Rashad White. Rashad White sucks at running the ball.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I felt
People
like
are
I needed
down
to get
on
rid
him,
of him.
but
Yeah.
It's like they're like he's so bad at running the ball. Like he was bad last year too. Like he wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not happy about him in terms of having him be my future, which is why I felt like I needed to trade him. Joe Brady is using James Cook like I thought he would, which is why of the two running backs that I had, I felt like that he was the one that I really needed to keep, and I'm glad that I did for obvious reasons. So
Well, and I feel like that's the reason that why Buffalo is still good this year is because they've been better utilizing James Cook because there were all the question marks about how they would be after essentially not returning any wide receivers because they traded Diggs and cut some of the other ones,
Gabe
whatever.
Davis,
Khalil Shakir, Khalil Shakir was the only one that really returned.
yeah.
So that was the big question mark, but I think that how they've used James Cook, that's really paid off for them.
And my Curtis Samuel call was terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I believe the narrative of going back to your old head coach. I believe the narrative of all of the wide open targets that were going to be there.
I mean, your logic was correct, but your player is wrong.
Yeah, he's about to get dropped. I'm too bad.
Hey, how about your Nico Collins assessment too? He's leading the league in receiving yards.
I still don't feel bad about my Nico Collins. I don't think that Nico Collins.
He does only have one touchdown, but 338 yards leads the league.
I mean, that's fine. I just think that I still think he's going to regress some. Yeah, I'm just not a big Nico guy. I don't know why. I have no real justification. I just don't think he's like this star-studded guy. I just don't.
Yeah.
And he probably is. I mean, it's fine. I'm okay with being.
I mean, what? He's wide receiver 6 right now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hang on a second. Let's talk about that here. If we're going to talk about how players are doing, our quarterbacks. Let's see. We got Baker Mayfield, who is. Oh, why did this just do that? Baker Mayfield.
Ollie, we'll get to your question in just a second.
Sam Darnold is 6. If we go to running backs, we've got. Let's see. Those are all pretty normal. Zach Charbonnet is 8. David Montgomery is 9. Aaron Jones is 10. You go to wide receivers. Your number 1 wide receiver is Malik Neighbors, which is pretty cool. Juwan Jennings is number 4. I mean, you can't really. It's too early to really look at that and be like, "Yep, those are the guys."
I understand, but like whenever he was being drafted at that number, and he's actually fulfilling that rather than being kind of like your Drake London, who was drafted in the first or second round, and he is doing as poorly as he is. That can ruin your team, right?
Right.
So
I don't think anybody's dissatisfied with him. Obviously, I don't think anybody's upset with him. I think long term,
they better be happy with Nico.
Well,
right.
I am. In what, the second round? I mean, Will's going to be happy with him because Will picked him up off waivers a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm talking about, like, I probably should clarify, but, like, for redraft,
you draft
second. I mean, you're getting what you paid for out of it. That's right. I mean, that's what you hope for. When you
that's what you hope for, but yeah,
I don't think
redrafts.
he's necessarily exceeding expectations, but he's definitely meeting expectations.
I mean, you could have drafted Jalen Waddle in second or third round, and look at what you're getting now out of that. I mean, that's just that can literally ruin a team if you waste a second or third round pick like that. Like you got to hit on your first, you got to hit on your second, you got to hit on your third. And when you don't,
or if you draft Christian McCaffrey at 101,
man,
tough.
Yeah, it just sucks. It's just
And
rough.
You don't go
take
see a
Mason.
specialist. Do what?
And you don't take Mason.
Right. Yeah.
I hope
Exactly.
Jed watches this because I'm in a league with him and he drafted CMC and he didn't take Mason and I picked up
Oh
Mason.
my God.
Yeah.
You know why he's
Insane.
seeing that specialist, right? You know why he's going to Germany?
Why?
No.
Apparently, whatever, I don't know if it's a drug or a treatment or a therapy, whatever you can get
Stem
here
cells.
versus there, they can give you like a significantly like more there. It's like
Okay.
it's legal for them to get more there. So that's why he's going there. It's not that like
It's stem cells. It's
is that what he's getting? Stem
yeah,
cells?
yeah, yeah. He's getting hopefully cells that can kind of reproduce at a higher rate at a place that does not have good blood flow. So because of that, the reproduction of your Achilles happens at a much slower rate. So he's trying to get stem cells to quicken the healing process. But I mean, this is exactly what I talked about. Is whenever you hear Achilles tendonitis, it just really depends on how much are you willing to risk a potential tear. And obviously, Achilles tears are now your worst injuries in these football players compared to ACLs, because ACL surgeries have really, in the recovery, the rehab process has been much more successful. Now, Achilles repairs, you just see more of a longer lasting, lingering, I guess, effect to their agility, to their quickness, to their cuts. And so because of that, I mean, I would imagine people are being much more conservative with any Achilles injury, especially just tendonitis in general. So I
Unless
don't
you're
blame
Aaron
them.
Rodgers.
Well, I just feel like quarterback play, like, right, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
you're pushing off of that foot and everything, but in terms of having to have that lateral quickness, that really big push off of that foot, it's just not as necessary as a wide receiver or a running back. So I don't know. I hate it for him. I hope he does get healthy, but it is very nerve wracking that you have to go to Germany to get treatment. So
For sure. All right, we got a couple questions over here. Ollie first. Jonathan Taylor and T.J. Hawkinson for A.J. Brown.
in Dynasty, that's AJ Brown, no doubt.
Yeah.
Every day of the week, whatever. In redraft, it depends, man, because I would imagine AJ Brown when he comes back, like, he'll be fine. But Jonathan Taylor is a very productive running back in a quarterback that can only throw the deep ball. So he said redraft, yeah. So it also depends on if TJ Hawkinson actually can come back before week 6.
That's right. Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you trade for him now, you're basically reducing your bench spot by 1, because you have to keep him. Unless you have an IR spot, then that helps out. But yeah, in redraft, I guess if you do not have a good record right now and you're needing to get wins right away, that Jonathan Taylor and TJ Hawkinson trade looks like the best bet. But if you can hold off, you have a good record, you started the season off right, AJ Brown, I think, is going to pay off for you in the later part of the season.
Let me ask you this: who is available on waivers to pick up with AJ Brown? Because theoretically, you're doing a 2-for-1, so you're going to pick somebody up on
That's
waivers.
right.
Who are you getting off waivers?
Yeah.
Because if you can get somebody like, I don't know. I don't even know. If I could get a Braylon
Juwan
Allen
Jennings.
or Juwan Jennings,
You're so on Braylon Allen.
I'm telling you, he's good. No, he represents the type of upside that wins leagues.
That's true.
I agree. With an injury.
Type of upside. Correct.
Yeah.
And he may be in a deep league, he may not be. He may be in an 8-man league, and that could be nothing. But if you're in a deeper league, 10, 12, 14, Braylon Allen represents the type of upside that you want. And he represents a good floor, too, that you've seen already. Clearly, they're going to use him. He's been up to, I think he was like 3 touches, 11 touches, 14 touches. If he's a 14-touch guy every week, he's a flexible position. A flexible asset, I think.
Yeah. In redraft, especially if he's JT and TJ.
Yeah.
Trade London and Ramondre for Bijan, Pittman, and Bucky.
Excuse me?
That gives me a headache.
Yeah, I
London
mean,
and Ramondre.
I mean, that's a no-brainer, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean,
I
You
think
take Bijan Robinson, Michael Pittman, and Bucky Irving for London and Ramondre. Yes.
yeah,
All day and
every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that easy. I don't know if it's that straightforward. I mean, has Drake London been bad this year? I mean, and outside of the one game with Ramondre, has Ramondre been bad this year?
No,
Let's see.
Ramondre's been good the first 2 weeks. He's been good, but
He got hurt last week. I don't care what anybody says. He hurt his finger. He was like
Drake
sitting on the
London
sideline working.
is Drake London's had 2 solid weeks. He sucked one with 3.5. He had 17.4 and 18.7. He caught 6 of 9 targets for 67 yards and a touchdown in week 3. Number 22 wide receiver. So serviceable, but hasn't had a massive game, right?
How's Bijan been? Because I'll be honest with you, I really don't know.
he didn't have the best of week last week, but he saved himself with a touchdown. But the previous
right.
2 weeks were serviceable.
Serviceable is in like top 10. Serviceable is in like he didn't kill you, but he didn't win you the week kind of thing.
I'll find
I'm
out
a
for you
little-
because I have him right here.
Bijan's
16,
running back
16,
number
and 13.
15. 16, 16, 13. So solid weeks, but nothing to write home about.
But
I don't think it's that easy, but I do lean the Bijan factor.
No, it's
He's
easy.
The best
Yeah.
player.
it's easy.
I mean, but why is it so easy? I mean, do you think that it's such a step down? Do you think Pittman
Ramondre or Bijan to Ramondre?
You can go Bijan to Drake London. It doesn't have to be an adjacent. I mean,
Drake-
points are points.
I feel like Drake London should have shown it by now. So
I don't
Bijan and
I'm still on
especially in a
Bijan's side. I'm just saying I
redraft
don't think
side.
it's that easy.
Yeah, if it's a PPR, it's just Bijan all the way because he's going to get so much involvement. He already has. Once this Atlanta Falcons team actually starts doing really well and gets ahead in games, they're going to be using Bijan even more. It's just Bijan's the guy. I'm putting
You're
my
not afraid
flag
of Tyler
down.
Algier?
No.
But the thing about Michael Pittman is his targets.
Yeah, I don't like
have
Michael
actually gone
Pittman.
Down
I don't like
from
Michael Pittman.
7 to 5 the first 3 weeks. He had scored over 7.5 points.
I would be willing to trade London and Ramondre for Bijan straight up.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't.
I would easily take that.
Is this
I
redraft,
think
I assume, or is this dynasty? If dynasty,
Yeah, I think that would
Dynasty.
probably depend on who else you have on your team to see how that plays out. Because if you're essentially doing that, trading London and Ramondre for Bijan and getting Pittman and Bucky Irving in as the other just pieces, just to add some more pieces in, and you've got good receivers outside of that, then yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you're planning on Pittman being a guy that you're starting 100% every week, then that's probably not an ideal move.
I think that's the correct assessment. I agree with that 100%.
Oh.
I have zero faith in Michael Pittman.
Oh
Because
yeah,
of Anthony Richardson. It's not has nothing to do with Michael
Yeah.
Pittman. I think he's awesome.
yeah.
I just
No,
think you can't trust Anthony.
Unless Anthony Richardson is throwing it 60 yards down the field, he can't throw it. to
But Michael
anybody.
Pittman can't. Yeah, he's not a deep ball threat, so he's not going to get
Yeah.
the passes that Anthony Richardson can actually throw. So
But
Yep.
so in that, to me, you're trading 2 starters for 1 starter.
for
That is
the
trade.
starter,
That is the trade. You're
Yeah.
trading Ramondre and Drake London
the
for Bijan,
starter.
and then you get potential. You can call him the starter. Listen, you're about Bijan because he's on your team. That's why.
No.
Yes.
High
It's the same reason I like
volume.
Brandon Ayuk.
No, it's
Yes,
not
it
even
is.
close. It's not
Yes,
even
it
close.
is.
No.
Say whatever
High
you want.
volume, no, because the Jets, we talk about this every single week. They don't have high volume of plays. They slow down the game. You're just limiting your ceiling because they don't. Atlanta runs plays specifically for Bijan. They get him involved in the passing game. Once they get to a point to where they're leading games, they have easier games, especially in their division, which isn't really that competitive. I really do believe Bijan's going to be really close to RB1 by the end of the year.
Hey, shout out Chandler. He said, "Give me Bijan 10 times over London and Stevenson." I'm with Captain.
Amen.
I mean, you can rewind this if you want. I would still take the Bijan side. My argument is that I don't think it's as simple as, yep, I don't even have to think about it.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it is.
I have to think about
I
it.
think there's more. There's more.
Ramondre just put a 0.3. I'm trading his ass right away.
Yeah, with an injury and a fumble. I mean,
Well,
he
and
got injured.
Patriots,
And I don't
that's
know
why.
what. But it doesn't matter. Look at the first 2 weeks. He put up 20 points. That's what I'm saying. You can't. I mean, these players are not always team dependent, and that's the thing. If you get the first 2 weeks out of Ramondre, if that's the normal, which I mean he was good last year, then I definitely don't think it's as simple and straightforward as you think.
No,
because you haven't seen it. You haven't seen Bijan have a running back run one season, have you? I mean, what did he finish last
only
year?
his second year.
But that's what I'm saying. What did he finish last year?
Ninth.
Ninth. And I
Ninth
think
with 8
last year,
touchdowns.
As a rookie.
Ramondre
Yeah.
Stevenson was like 16. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
and here's the other thing.
I would take the better player. I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
don't think it's like, oh yeah, this is. I don't even have to consider this.
It's where
I
you're
don't know if
wrong.
it's that easy. I hate you, Chase. Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear.
Bijan's had 23 touches, 18 touches, 18 touches the first 3 weeks, but only has 1 touchdown on his record. I think it's the other part of that too.
And he's gonna get more touchdowns. Yeah,
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. He's
Yeah.
the best player out of all those players. 100% agree. And I think for most people, getting the best player in the trade is the way to do it. But I also think that if you're going to trade away 2 starters for 1 starter, I don't know that that's the best move. It's not always the best move because you're not going to start Bucky.
Oh, 1,000%.
Really, I don't think you can start Michael Pittman. Now, if you're in the,
You're not going to start Bucky unless White actually is out. Yeah.
But Bucky is taking more of Rashad White's touches, and so at the end of the season, you could potentially see more, even without a White injury, you could see more Bucky Irving. So it's an
11
upside
points,
pick.
actually.
Yeah,
He's an
it's an upside pick. Yeah.
I'll give you that.
All right,
Man, we got
Ray Gamer
complicated
over here.
questions over here.
Traded Jordan Mason and received Cup. Wide receiver core is now Rice, Cup, Ayuk, Waddle, Pittman, and Juan Jennings. Great running backs already. I needed my wide receiver too. Well, that would work out for you, except for he's hurt.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I
Can you
mean,
post his thing on there so I can see it.
yeah,
I mean, he has
the trade makes sense. However, your wide receivers, I mean, on paper would be really good, but you know, Rashee Rice has been as advertised. Cooper Kupp's injured. Brandon Ayuk is almost non-existent in San Francisco's offense at this point. Jalen Waddle's not going to have any production until they find a freaking quarterback. Michael Pittman's not getting any targets because Anthony Richardson can't throw it 5 yards. And then Juwan Jennings had a big game, and I think he's going to suck this week. So,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
There's that.
It makes sense, but hopefully Cooper Kupp can get back for you. Because if so, then you have Rice and Kupp, and then you can literally put Ayuk in a flex. That's pretty good. I don't know your running backs. I'm assuming your running backs are good.
They're good. They're pretty
Once Cooper Kupp comes back, I think you'll be good. But right now, you're kind of at a position to where your wide receivers are still kind of weak at the moment, just because of injuries.
Right.
Would you start Cowboys
you
defense
start-
versus the Giants? No.
Saints defense versus the Falcons.
Potential.
Or Vikings defense versus the Packers.
No. So I guess Saints defense would be
Well,
what I would
now here's the thing about the Vikings defense against the Packers. It's going to be contingent on if Jordan Love plays. If Jordan Love does not play, I consider that one about the same as the Saints defense versus the Falcons. If Jordan Love plays, I'm not going to start him.
Vikings defense has been pretty good even after getting rid of Danielle Hunter, which is kind of crazy.
Right.
Their whole team has been good. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you almost don't want those players to come back, like Hawkinson and Addison, because it's like, are y'all gonna mess this up for us? Like we're doing really well
Right.
without
You're
you.
not gonna mess us up with it.
You know what I mean, though? Because I mean, it
Well, and
happens.
Minnesota drafted a quarterback, and Sam Darnold's had a career resurgence so far in 3 games.
I don't know. So, like, what do you do in
He's
that
done this
regard?
before, though. He's done
Is it
this
gonna be a
before.
Josh
where-
Rosen kind of deal? I mean, oof.
No, they're going to trade him to the Chargers. The Chargers are going to trade Herbert, and then
Oh,
Jim Harbaugh's going to have McCarthy.
wow. All right.
Hey, by the way, to answer this guy's WR2 question, did you guys ever use Fantasy Football Outsiders?
No, I don't think so.
So it's not a thing anymore. So it was
Oh.
this huge database that got scrubbed because I think the guy who owned it sold to a different company and then they shut it down. You can still find it out there, but you have to
course.
pay for it now. But it was this stat where this guy broke down every single defense, how they fared against slot receivers, deep threats, how they fared against on the right side of the field versus the left, how certain corners did. It was the absolute best thing that I ever had to make start-sit decisions because you could literally look at all those people and their matchups and be like, well, and I'm just going to say some names. I don't know. Well, the Raiders are the best against slot wide receivers. Well, the Titans are the worst against slot wide receivers. So if I'm having a toss-up here, I'll just do the one who has the worst defense. It was the best thing that I'd ever had, and they shut it down. I'm so annoyed. I would have paid for it,
Of course.
but it's gone.
Dang.
It's gone forever.
So he also said that in that he picked up Deontay Johnson because somebody dropped him last week. So I'm obviously inclined to say start Deontay Johnson as wide receiver
Heck
too,
yeah, I'd
because
pick
he was
that.
my start of the week. But I also think that he's probably the best one of that group because hell yeah, we're all Kentucky boys here, Chandler. So
Hell
right
yeah.
on, bro. Well, I mean, hey, look, whoops, I'm pointing at the wrong side over here. This thing is a Kentucky
Rupp
poster.
Arena.
Did you see my Kentucky sign up here? Hang on, let me show you mine so you can know that we're all from Kentucky. Hang on. Let me get it.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell from our lovely dialogue and speech.
Hang on
10
here. I'll show
feet.
you mine. Look at
From
mine.
our accent. Fucking idiot. Oh man, that's awesome.
So stupid.
That's awesome.
Pikeville. That's awesome. I
we
think
play
I'm
them?
Pikeville, let's go, bro.
We played them in golf.
Yeah,
and
give
I
us a
remember
follow.
playing, who was that guy? I played this guy. He was kind of a smaller guy, and he had a broomstick putter. Only person I ever played with in
Broomstick
college had a broomstick putter. Yeah, I'll never forget it. He was super cool. He was a nice dude,
Head
but-
pushing Pollock?
Oh, is he from Pikeville?
Well, I don't think so.
That guy.
That's just the
I'll
first
never
one that
forget
popped
it.
into my head
That's
when you started
Y'all
talking
remember,
about somebody.
Do y'all remember, was it Lemons
Yeah.
from Asbury? And then they
Yep.
had another guy, too, that was, they had like 3 or 4 people that we played with every freaking year.
Yeah. I like playing with them. I thought they were funny.
They are, but sometimes they got on my nerves because I would like try to take it seriously sometimes, and they would like
Nah.
never take it seriously.
Yeah.
They would fart on the tee box.
They didn't give up.
It's like
Yeah.
We all
Majority
played
of time.
college golf together. Or at least the three of us did. Trey did not, but that's kind of how we got started in this. So, but Chandler's question was: somebody dropped White in my league for Bucky, 12-man PPR. Should I use the number one claim on him, or save it for maybe someone better down the season?
I think you have to.
I
The
do
fact
too.
that they dropped a starter. Yeah, I may not be a fan of White, but the fact that someone did drop him at this period, you got to take him because that's for sure points, for sure volume that you're going to get. Whenever you're using waivers, it's potentially on players like Juwan Jennings, who is considered to be the number one waiver target for most leagues. Is he going to have that production routinely scoring 40 points? No, of course not. You're just hoping that he can give you a few flex opportunities. With Rachaad White, you have flex opportunities week in, week out,
Yeah.
even by the end of the season. Heck yeah, I would most definitely use your number one priority on White for sure.
I mean, he's
Well,
got
and
6 targets in 2
70%
games, so
Yeah, 70% snap share each of the 3 weeks, and he only got 6 carries last week because they were down early to Denver and just threw the ball. but he got 6 targets,
Yeah.
caught
Yeah.
5 passes for 18 yards, and that first game, 15 carries, only had 31 yards, but had 6 catches for 75. So he's getting the volume, even if they don't run the ball, he's still getting targeted.
Yeah.
And he was a little banged up there at times over the last couple
Yeah, he
weeks.
had a
but
groin injury
he-
too. I forgot about that. He's had
Yeah.
a groin injury.
Rashad White? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he's had a groin injury.
Yeah.
Which I think that
Um,
plays into it.
I
too.
don't
mean,
think
you-
he was. Yeah, it was a minor groin injury that was limited in practice last week, but he was not on the injury report today, so should be good to go. So yeah,
I
I
would burn.
definitely.
I would burn it.
We appreciate you, Chandler. Tell your
Yeah. Amen. I'm making some bold starts in our league this week.
Probably not. I'm gonna go ahead and say you're probably not. They're probably not that bold. How bold can your team be, Chase? You've got like 6 of your 7 starters or 8 starters that you don't have a choice but to start.
I'm not starting Jameson Williams. I'm not starting Zach Charbonnet. I'm starting
like
Wandale Robinson and Brian Thomas over those 2.
I think those
I
are
don't
great
think
decisions.
those are that crazy.
Really?
I love those.
Yeah.
Wandale's been fantastic.
Yeah,
He's been quietly fantastic.
he's your Jarvis Landry right now. I mean, he's not getting the snap count that I want him to have, but his targets are 12, 4, and 8. Like he's getting targets and he's getting around that 10-point thing. With G-Rob, who's projected to be basically right 50-50 with me, I think I'm going to have to play him and try to just get that 10 points and hope one of my other players
Well, and
go off,
there's 2 thoughts about Wandale with that also is one, Dallas hadn't been able to stop a cold all year.
True.
So that's probably going to be a high scoring game. 2, Dallas also beats the shit out of the Giants every time they play them. So that should mean that Dallas is ahead and the Giants have to throw the ball. Which,
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Thursday game.
Neighbors is going to get those 15 targets, but hell, Wandale still got 7 or 8 last week. So I think that's a solid move.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that's
Start White
smart
over
move.
Ford is what Chandler said.
To start White over Ford. Let's
Is it
see here.
PPR?
Tampa is
Yeah,
playing.
Chandler, is it PPR or non-PPR? This feels like a
If it's not,
two-touchdown
if it's
game
not
for Zeke.
PPR,
That's
I don't think I'm playing.
probably.
Let me see here.
Let's see. The
Ford's playing Las Vegas.
Bucks are playing the Eagles. The Browns are
Started.
playing the Raiders. Yes, PPR.
I'm going to look at my rankings real quick on the
Your
this-
rankings.
This, database that I use.
You're gonna look at somebody else's rankings.
I'm going to look at someone else's rankings here.
Database.
He said, "I'm gonna look at my rankings like you go through and do them every week."
Yeah, shit.
You idiot! I hate you, Chase.
Well, hey, the-
Buzz Lightyear boy. You killed me.
The Raiders were making business decisions last week, so will they make another business decision this week?
I don't,
Well,
I don't know
I
what he
think
means by business decisions. He,
Okay,
he-
that's what I was
The
gonna ask.
players
What do you mean?
weren't playing hard. They
I think it
essentially
was, I
gave
think
up
he was
just to
talking
earn
about
their
Luke
check.
Getson. I think Luke Getson.
Oh, saying the OC just said peace out.
Yeah.
I think the business decision for the Raiders is going to be if they send a masseuse to Watson's hotel room or not.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I would choose White on that one, by the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Two
Why is
TD
Jennings
for-
gonna
Chandler, it's
suck this week?
no, it's not going to be a 2 TD game for Zeke. Don't say that. Don't even talk about that. Don't say
Maybe I
it
need
that
to
way.
put
Don't
my
talk about
up then if it's going to be a 2-touchdown game from Zeke.
There's no
It
way.
needs to be Dowdle season, which I
He's
think
so
he's taking over.
inefficient.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's had 5 targets
Jennings
last
is
season.
going to suck this week because he's not going to put 2 weeks together. And then they're playing the Patriots, so they're going to get out of throwing the ball early. It's going to be a running head game for the 49ers. So Jennings just isn't going to get the targets because they're not going to have to throw it. And the Patriots are probably going to look at him and say, okay, I guess we need to take him out now. So it's going to go to somebody else.
I don't know. I still feel like
my
Juan
opinion.
Jennings can still get you some good points, but I don't. Obviously, no one anticipates him to be scoring over 40 again. But I also don't
He's gonna
think
get
it's
less
going to be a
than 10.
high
That's
score.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
9.9. Here we go.
I don't
That's our
think
criteria.
it's
I
going
don't
to be a
give a fuck.
high-scoring game, by the way. So,
You don't think it'll be a high scoring game?
no. So,
I
So they wouldn't
I
guard
think it'll
IU.
be.
Ayuk's
I think
not
it'll be
catching the
closer.
ball. He has a lot of drops at the moment.
It'll be fine. You want to trade him to me in the Dynasty League? I'll take him.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
and you know,
I'm
I'm
he
not
has
getting
you
too
it.
much
first.
for him. 'Cause I don't have any,
He's
I don't
probably
think.
still working back into game shape too because he didn't get any work in camp.
What a selfish person.
Yeah, how dare
Doesn't
he
he
take care
know
of
he's
his
on my?
family? How
Yeah.
dare he?
Did you not
Doesn't he
call
know
him
he's
to
on my
tell him?
dynasty league? Yeah,
Or
he
text
should
him?
have asked for my permission.
He said, "What a selfish person! How dare he take care of his family and the rest of his family?" Have you look at the matchup this week with me and Wendell, and just look at my players' matchups. Just look at the colors.
Are they all red?
They're all green. I'm gonna get
Oh.
smoked. I'm gonna lose so bad because his are probably 50-50.
Dude,
Red
look
green.
at
The
the dark
yellow.
greens you got in there too, dude.
Do what?
The dark greens because they're all different
They're
shades
like
of green, like
last.
Kyle Pitts and Tony
Yeah.
Pollard. They're heavy.
So is let's see, who was the other one? So is Josh Allen. Yeah, I'm gonna get smoked.
The over under on the Patriots 49ers is 40.5.
I think
But the
40.5.
49ers are 10.5 point favorites.
Oh my God. Jeez,
so. What's that
Louise.
implied total? Like 25-15 or something like that? 26-14, something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. 2 touchdown, basically 2 touchdown win.
The Browns and Raiders are 37 point over and under.
We
So
suck,
Vegas has
dude.
nobody
Yeah,
fucking scoring in that.
I'm freaking so mad about that. My Brock Bowers take is doing much better every single week though. He looks like a stud.
Oh yeah, he is for sure. I mean, hell, they don't. Why not? It's him and Devontae Adams. Zamir
Yeah.
White's not running the ball great, so why not?
No, not at all.
The Titans Dolphins game over under is 36.5, and I think you need to hammer the under.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't blame you there.
I'm willing to go bold here. The winning team won't have 10 points.
Oh damn!
In the Titans game?
Yeah.
If they would just pass the ball to Tony Pollard, they would.
Will Levis is going to go off one week, and then this
So last year, this was his coming out game. Was the Monday night game at Miami where they were down 14 with 2:40 to go, and he led them back to win 28-27.
I was at
So-
Applebee's during that game. Why I remember that, I don't know.
You look like Applebee's kind of guy. You're a half price apps kind of guy. Y'all remember how much Evan Bickerstaff wanted to go to Applebee's for half price apps?
Yeah.
Gosh, it was like every week he's like, "You want to go? It's half price apps." And I'm like, I don't have enough money to pay for half. Like I can't even do that.
Can't even pay for half price. Shit.
I can't. Yeah, if they do quarter price apps, I can get one.
Quarter pocket get one. Oh man. Alrighty guys. Anything else we need to address here?
Probably. Can we talk about Lil Jordan Humphrey?
Who?
Look,
Lil Jordan?
Jordan Mason?
Nope, Lil
no,
Jordan.
Lil Jordan Humphrey. That's
Lil
his
Jordan
name. Is
Humphrey.
Lil Jordan. LIL' Jordan Humphrey. He's still with Denver.
Yeah. His name's Lil Jordan.
Who is this person?
So he's a big Sean Payton guy. Sean Payton had him in New Orleans and now has him in Denver.
I feel like we've been searching for Sean Payton's guy and no one's hitting.
No, it was Drew Brees. That was it. It's just like Bill Belichick. As good as he is without Tom Brady.
Mediocre.
I mean,
I mean, at least Cortland Sutton's getting the targets, but like Jaleel McLaughlin is not doing as well as I would hope. But Javonte isn't really doing that well either. During their big off-season or offensive game, who really goes off on that team? Did anyone really like
on what team?
eclipse Denver Broncos?
Oh,
Did
they all suck.
anyone eclipse? Yeah, it makes no sense. They scored the
suck.
most points that they've scored all year, obviously, and yet they still didn't have a player eclipse 20. Like how is that even
So Bo Nix had 19.34. Cortland Sutton had 13.8, and then the kicker Will Lutz had 16, and the defense had 16. Those are the only people over 10.
And how many points did they score? Didn't they get to the
26.
30s? Oh, they got to 26. Okay, so they got
Yeah.
Still a lot,
big and
though.
then didn't. It is, but I was thinking they got up to 30.
Lil Jordan,
Is
6
Javonte
catches on 8
Williams
targets.
cooked?
He had 8 targets.
Yeah.
Troy Franklin isn't nothing.
He had
He-
5
Frank
targets
had 5
on
targets.
25% of the 25% of the plays. I mean, it's not bad, but he didn't do anything with them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm having a really tough time figuring out Denver and like what part of that offense I'm actually wanting because I always thought Sean
You don't.
Payton.
You don't want.
They don't
any
even
part.
know.
They don't even know. They don't even know.
You don't want any of it. What do I
Yeah.
do with Javonte? Somebody tell me what I do with him.
You just let
Just
it.
give him
let it
back to
happen.
me for a first-round pick.
I can't do anything with him. I can't drop him.
Is he getting
can't
the
trade
volume? What
He's
is
not
their
getting
running game?
the volume. He's getting
5
volume.
carries,
He's not
4
getting
catches
the-
last week.
He's
5 carries?
Yeah, for 6 points.
Are they separating the carries amongst like 4 players?
So he had 5
kinda.
carries.
Last
McLaughlin
week.
had 5 carries, and Tyler Beatty had 9. But Tyler Beatty turned those 9 into 70 yards.
Also, his
Oh
last name
my
is
Lord.
Bidet.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's
Oh,
Bidet.
Bidet. Oh my god.
His last name is Bidet.
All right. Well,
Like you
apparently
shoot
he's
water
the
on your
best
butt.
running back there.
I mean, did anybody watch it? I mean, did he have like one
No.
gigantic rush and then a bunch of little ones, or was he just like chunk play guy? I didn't watch it.
I have no idea. I
Wow,
didn't.
that-
No, I didn't watch it either.
Um,
Hence why I'm asking you
let's
all.
see. I've got NFL pulled up. Hang on. Hold your horses.
Let me see
me see
here.
what-
You
let me
playing
see what-
Akers again if he starts?
I think if you're desperate,
They're-
you are.
Well, so here's the thing. They're playing Jacksonville. Jacksonville sucks donkey dick, so it's not a bad move because they're probably going to be up and need to run the ball. So
Probably wouldn't be bad.
Tyler Bidet had a long of 43.
Okay, so he had one
Oh
really big
yeah,
run.
he had a big run.
Yeah.
So outside of
So-
that, what do you have, like 70 yards? So outside
8
of
for
that,
27 out of that, so just over 3 yards a carry.
3.5.
3.5.
Okay, that to me kind of washes that away. I thought about picking him up because he did have a lot of yards, and I do have Javonte Williams, who I think is washed, but isn't worth
Yeah.
anything. Like he's the worst player to have on your team because I've got like 3 of
He's
them
a
where I can't drop
Big
them
name, yeah.
because somebody will scoop them up, but I can't really trade them because all I'm going to get is like a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
I don't
Ish.
like. I mean,
Well,
I don't
hey,
think that
you
happens.
know, looking at our trade we made now, where it was essentially Javonte Williams for Jalen Wall.
Yes, they both suck.
They both suck right now.
Yeah, they both suck.
Who was the other player involved in that trade? Javonte Williams and what?
It was Javonte Williams
I
and his
got-
1st round pick for Jalen Waddle, Gus Edwards, Gerald Everett, and a 3rd round pick.
Wow.
And mind you, we made that trade. The following week, Javonte Williams blew out.
Yeah.
Oh
It
no.
was the
And then
following
Jalen
week.
Waddle started going off.
Oh
Jalen Waddle had like a
no.
40-point game, I think. It was something
Yeah.
wild. It was 2023. You could probably look it up, but it was 2023. And
Who
it
did
was
you
early-
draft with that draft pick, though?
Let's see. That's actually a really good question. Let me see. It was 2023 3rd.
It was your
First.
Oh, best draft,
first.
rookie draft. So I would imagine it would have
2023
been
first
pick.
from me.
All right, hang on a second. Let me look. Draft results 2023. Let's see. That was the year Chase took Bijan first. I got Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson's gonna be fine though. I mean, you look at. Let me temper what I'm about to say here. I think that for fantasy, he could be fine.
He's gonna have some growing pains, but yes, he'll be okay.
He hasn't played a ton. That's the thing. Like,
Exactly.
I feel like everybody is looking at him as though he's like this tenured NFL player. He's played like 5 games.
Yeah.
He's basically on
Well-
par with your Jaden Daniels, like as far as playing time goes. Like he's
No,
not-
However-
Jaden Daniels.
Well,
No,
Jaden-
Jaden Daniels has
you get
way
what I'm saying.
more experience. Way
But-
more experience than Anthony Richardson.
If you're going
NFL
to compare
experience.
Anthony Richardson to anyone else, you're going to compare him to Trey Lance. because
Yes.
of the amount of
I had
experience
so
he's
high
got.
hopes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the
I
same
held
thing.
him
You've
on
got
my
high
team.
hopes for Anthony Richardson, and it's going to be the same way. He's going
No.
to be a backup somewhere.
I'm not super.
He's
super
going to back
amped
up
on
Lamar
him.
Jackson in a year and a half.
I thought about.
Baltimore.
I tell you what, Miami would kill to have him right now. I mean, he's
Well,
better
I
than
mean,
everything they've
hey,
got. But
If you put him in Miami, you
Oh,
put
man,
Tyreek Hill on
Jalen
one side, Jalen Waddle on the other, send
Just
him on
launch it.
fucking go routes, and just chuck it. That's all you have to do.
4 players getting 20 plus snaps as long as I'm just running it with our carry. I don't know if he's had a goal line carry or not. To be honest with you, I think that he's had a couple, but I don't. But I 100% agree with that. You've got a whole field of players who are touching the ball way too much.
Yeah.
It sucks. He's useless. And here I have him on my team, and I can't do anything with him.
Hey,
Yeah.
in a PPR redraft, who would you rather get off of waivers, Zamir White or Austin Eckler?
Austin Eckler.
Well, Austin
He
Eckler
is
is
hurt.
out,
I don't care.
I was
Zamir
about
White
to say.
sucks.
and
But
so
he
here's the
is
other
the
thing. Too.
starting running back.
Austin Eckler
So is Javonte
is
Williams.
getting. Austin Eckler's getting kickoff returns.
Yeah, he's getting targets. He had a really big play this last week, and then he had his concussion.
I know. I
take
currently
Austin
have
Yeah,
Austin
he's
Eckler.
not starting
as
though,
my-
is he? It's Brian Robinson, isn't it?
Brian
It
Robinson
is.
started. Yep.
But
Yeah.
all right, let's look at Austin Eckler here. So 10,
Check your
11,
rankings,
13.
Chase. Check your rankings.
My rankings, yeah. His snap percentage is 53, 43, 22. Yet, with those snap percentages, 10.2 points week 1, 11.5 points week 2, 13.7 points week 3.
With only
For-
one touchdown across the board.
With Zamir White, snap percentages 38, 63, 22, point totals 4.6, 6.8, 3.4. I'm with you. I don't need to start this player. I just need another running back to stash on my bench. So do I go with the guy who definitely is the number one running back on the team, just sucks, or do I go for the guy who, especially in a PPR league, is going to be your pass catching running back on the team?
Just out of curiosity, why can't you get both of them right now?
I'm dropping only one player for both.
No, but he's on. Eckler's out. So pick up Eckler, put him in your.
I don't have an IR.
That sucks.
Oh well,
I'd still
that
take
sucks.
Eckler. I think Eckler. I mean, which offense would you rather have pieces of?
Yeah, I mean that's a no-brainer. I have Jaden Daniels in that league, but I have Joe Burrow as well with the Jamar Chase stack. I have Aaron Jones and Ramondre Stevenson as my running backs.
So you like Ramondre? Clearly, you like him enough.
Only could get Ramondre because running backs went so high. My wide receivers at the time looked really, really good until Tua's injury. I had Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, and Marvin Harrison. The other wide receivers I had there as well. This is a 12-team league, by the way. Brian Thomas and Wan'Dale Robinson. But my running backs are definitely with Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Jonathan Brooks, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Jalen Warren. So I really need to drop Taysom Hill, who is my backup tight end. Although Sam Laporta is not really playing all that well, who is my starting tight end at the moment.
None of the tight ends are playing.
Exactly. So I'm dropping
Yeah.
Taysom Hill to pick up one of these running backs. I'm just curious if I should do Zamir, who I know is the starting running back, and I can at least put in there and know I'm going to get volume, or get Austin Eckler, which if it's not a good game script for him, he may not get used at all. So
Are they ever going to not have a good game script for all?
that's the thing. Washington's
Defense
defense is
sucks.
pretty bad. So
And
Yeah.
Zamir White, is he? Let me ask you this: a pulse check on this. Is this really? How much of your thumb is on the scale because you're a Raiders guy?
none, because I hate the entire team at the moment. Yeah.
Also, speaking of thumb on the scale, do you know how many touches Ramondre had the first 2 weeks?
How many touches?
Yeah, just don't look.
22.
Just take a guess. You think
20.
22
22.
each week? What do you think, Will?
Are you,
rated.
so you're saying total or each week?
Total touches
For 2 weeks or like each?
each week. Yeah,
Yeah,
and you said
22 each.
You think 22 each week?
Yeah.
What do you think, Will?
I'll go 25 each week.
He said 28 and 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Split between. He's had over 20 carries a game, and he's had targets.
What happened week 3?
He got hurt.
Got hurt.
Did nobody? I mean, nobody probably watched this game. But I'm telling you, if you watch his play, his one long play that got called back for penalty, he gets his hand in this guy's face mask and he hurts his hand. He's not on the injury report.
We watched it.
I don't know why, but
In our last
his
podcast.
hand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk about that. I think that's going to get us a strike on YouTube.
Don't give up. Fuck. We've
But
a
he
maximum
got
of 5
hurt.
people watching this. I think we're good.
But one of those could be it could be Goodell.
Good.
Schmitty
What's up,
took
Raj?
Goodell.
That'd be baller.
No, but I think I don't know. I'm a bit
Hey.
of a homer because he's a Patriot. So my thumb is
So
on the scale with that, but still.
Here's your statement about Devontae Williams, Holler.
I
So
don't wanna
granted-
do it, I don't think.
So of qualified rushers,
Oh no.
so yeah,
It's
you
not
know
the
you have
way
to have a
you
certain
wanna lead
amount
a
of
convo.
touches.
There's only like 4 that are going to be worse than him. Is what he's about to tell
Well,
me. Of the 350,
granted-
he's 345.
No, he's actually first in this stat.
Oh, okay. I can't wait for this.
With his 24 carries, but then Ray Davis is second with 19 carries. Jordan Mason is third with 67 carries. But in stacked box percentage, Javonte Williams leads the league at 54.2% of his carries have come against a stacked box, 8 defenders.
I mean, it's Bo Nix. You have to stack the box. And
Ray
make
Davis
him
is
throw the
second
ball.
at 47.4%, then Jordan Mason at 38.8%, which is significantly more carries, and Derrick Henry is fourth at 33.9%.
That
And those are only qualified rushers. So that's the other thing about Javonte Williams is that when he's in the game, even though he did get pass catching opportunities, that he's facing 100 people in the box and can't run his expected yards per
cricket's
carry.
it never will.
The
But
actually-
that supports my thought of I can't trade him and I can't drop him.
yeah.
the rushing yards over expected, he's negative 49. So based on his carries that he's got, they expect him to get 49 more yards than what he's got.
I expect that as well. I'm today in this-
I expect greatness.
so frustrating. So
Yeah.
frustrating.
Well,
I'm still on the Ramondre Stevenson train. I don't care if he had a bad week. It's
you
fine.
just have a bad week. He nearly had a bagel. I would rather him have a bagel than the 0.3 that he
No, you
gave.
wouldn't. There's people who won their leagues by 0.3 who would rather have 0.3.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you,
One other
first
thing for
off,
you
it was against
guys.
the Jets, and second off, he got hurt.
Yeah. One other thing for you guys, which doesn't really affect us because we don't have a kicker except our no bench league that we're in. But Brandon Aubrey from the Cowboys
I saw this.
in standard scoring leagues, PPR leagues, Brandon Aubrey would be quarterback 16 in points. Then it gets pretty crazy because he would be wide receiver 4,
4. Yeah.
running back 6, and overall tight end number 1.
That's unbelievable,
As a
dude.
damn
He would be
kicker.
the. Bless him.
He would be the best tight end based on fantasy points because of how he's kicking the ball.
It's just,
So, if you're out there and you have Aubrey, you're fucking fantastic. If you don't, try to trade for him, but you're going to have to give up quite a bit to get him, I think. And he shouldn't be on waivers in anybody's league, but if he is, snatch his ass up.
yeah. Amen.
Also, I just saw this. He literally left the entire he went to the locker room. Ramondre did for his game against the Jets.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, he probably said, fuck this shit, I ain't playing in this no more.
Well, he left relatively early.
That was the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean he had six. What play? It was like halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, it was like
So a third of
6:40
the
to
way
go in
through
the
the game,
second
he
quarter or
had
something.
6 carries. So I mean, you could play the game of extrapolating that over the rest of the
Big words, I like it.
game. Oh, philosophically, no. What did you say, Chase?
Yeah, no, that was right.
That was it.
It was on hole number 7. We were going up the hill to the green, and I said something philosophically.
Was it 7 or 2?
Speaking,
I thought it
it
was,
was
whole 2.
it was 7. Philosophically speaking,
This is so dumb. So
Oh,
funny.
that's
That's
awesome.
so dumb. You're so smart. So dumb. You're like Hayden. So smart. It's like What?
Both doctors.
Don't you
Yeah,
dare insult me
that's a
like
good
that.
point. It's
Oh
the
my
doctor.
God.
Where I can't find this play, and it's gonna frustrate me to no end. But I did see some articles where people were saying he left. Like, I mean, he went to the locker room, which I didn't even know that. There you have it, boys.
Yep.
Yep.
It's bedtime.
It was bedtime a few hours. I already fell asleep. Couldn't do this.
Oh
I fell
no.
asleep
Glad you
for
woke
like
up
30
for it.
minutes. I woke up and came back in. Yeah.
Damn. Well, this is fun. I enjoy this a
Yeah.
lot. So
I enjoy my new picture of Buzz Lightyear.
you'll probably have another one. I'm dressing that up, dressing up like that for Halloween. So
What happened, man?
Lit.
How did you end up with a Buzz Lightyear outfit on?
it was the Disney cruise. We were on the Disney
It was a
cruise.
Disney cruise. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes more
Did you not see the rest of the family? We were all dressed up
No.
in Toy Story. What do you mean
No.
no?
Do you
He
know
didn't
how
pay
I
a
got
lick
that
of attention.
picture? How do
You
think I
had to
got the
look
picture?
at the.
He doesn't
What,
have
Cameron?
Facebook, so
Yeah. Your brother sent it.
No, you did.
Yeah,
fucker.
he did. Yeah, he did. He said him and Colin were giving you just an absolute awful time.
Oh man.
So I sent him a picture. So we can end this stream and I can tell you this story quickly before we go to bed if y'all want.
all right. Well, to wrap it up, every week Wednesday nights, tune in. We'll answer on any other questions you have. So thanks, shitheads. We'll see you next week.